Hey, how's it going everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula. I hope you're having a good weekend and welcome to today's Pokemon GO video. Okay, so recently, Niantic has been making a lot of blunders when it comes to Pokemon GO, and it's been creating a lot of frustration from the Pokemon GO community. A lot of players have been pretty fed up with how Niantic has been treating this game as of late, and some of the decisions that they've been making recently have not helped that case. I'm going to be talking about all of this in today's video, so let's roll the intro and get right into it. Alright, let's get right into it. So, with the recent launch of the Sustainability Week in-game event, there's been a lot of controversies that players have not been able to overlook. In particular, Niantic decided to remove a bonus that they previously announced that a lot of players were looking forward to when it comes to this event. I'm of course talking about the half distance requirement for getting candies from your buddies. And yeah, this was extremely frustrating because a lot of players were setting time off and players were getting some of their Pokemon ready to get walked. And Niantic decided to pull this bonus out of this event last minute, and a lot of players were extremely unhappy about that. Now, I can't say that I agree with this decision, even if it was not intended to be a part of this event. I think it would have been fine if Niantic quietly kept this bonus in the game for this event. Like literally, this bonus specifically mentioned the half distance for getting candy from your buddies, and yeah, that bonus is not available currently right now. So a lot of players might get that information and then actually start playing the game, only to find that the bonus that they were referring to is not actually there. So that is a huge miscommunication problem that Niantic needs to fix. And another major blunder that Niantic committed is, of course, the push notifications that get sent out to every player. They actually mentioned the bonuses that were cut from this event, and yeah, that is absolutely horrible because not only is that misinformation to the large player base, but it's also just kind of rubbing salt on the wounds for anyone who was looking forward to this one particular bonus. I think one of the biggest points of contention right now with the Pokemon GO community is in regards to communication. This is the area where Niantic has been dropping the ball constantly, and I think a lot of Pokemon GO players have been very fed up, mainly because Niantic has not been explaining themselves too well, and a lot of times they do things that players will not agree with, and of course, they don't give any kind of justification for doing those decisions. You know, it's not even this whole thing with the sustainability event bonuses. I really feel like when it comes to the game in general, Niantic has been radio silent on the issues that players really care about, and they're more focused on making announcements that don't give them a really good look with the Pokemon GO community. Like for example, on Thursday, they tweeted something that felt very tone deaf, especially in regards to the Heroes Niantic movement that's currently ongoing. They tweeted something about going outside, that there is a huge approval rating. They kind of mimicked a Rotten Tomatoes score for going outside and playing the game outdoors. And of course, one of the cruxes of the Heroes Niantic movement that's currently going on is of course some of these changes that they implemented for remote raid passes. And a lot of players feel like this was extremely tone deaf, and I agree with that. As of right now, Niantic needs to be very sensitive with what they post on social media because anything they say is going to draw a lot of criticisms and a lot of scrutiny, and I really feel like when it comes to something like this in particular, it was by far a really bad move. Of course, instead of doubling down, they deleted the tweet almost immediately, so I'm pretty sure that's because they were drawing a lot of negativity from the community, and their social media team, like God bless their souls, they're going through a lot right now. And that's considering the reality that they make no decisions when it comes to Pokemon GO's gameplay. So, of course, they're going to get the brunt of all of the negativity that the Pokemon GO community is currently feeling. And yeah, I just feel really bad for them. But in regards to the higher-ups at Niantic that are making the gameplay decisions, I really feel like they need to take a step back and what feedback they are currently getting from Pokemon GO players, because it's not even just the hardcore players and the content creators that have been voicing their dismay for Niantic's decisions, but when I talk to a lot of people in my local communities, it's the median players that are actually really unhappy with how Niantic has been treating Pokemon GO as of late. I mean, these are the players that fall into the Singaporean grandma player base that Niantic is always touting. Like, they are not hardcore players, they are as casual as it gets. And yet, these players are finding that the game is getting really stale, and they're feeling like some of the decisions regarding remote raid passes were completely unnecessary. And I 100% agree with those players. players. I feel like a lot of the decisions that Niantic have been making recently are just not necessarily how people enjoy the game. For them to have this level of a disconnect between their players and themselves, like, that is going to be detrimental for the longevity of Pokemon Go. I know that they've stated that the reason for some of the changes that they've been implementing lately is for the longevity of Pokemon Go, but I actually disagree with that. I'm not necessarily saying that they need to make the game fully remote. I think that would defeat the purpose of Pokemon Go. But I actually think they could approach some of the decisions that they want to make in a much better way. I mean, nerfing remote raid passes was not the right move. What they should have done, and this is something that me, along with other content creators and notable figures in the Pokemon Go community have been saying for the last couple of days, is that Niantic should have increased the incentives for in-person raids while maintaining remote raids for people who choose to do those. That would be a much nicer way to get people to go out and play the game the way they want us to play the game, instead of just making the entire community go against them. And of course, when I say the entire community, I'm referring to all the people on social media and of course the general player base. And of course, there are going to be those who defend Niantic wholeheartedly, and I respect that. I know a lot of people are very passionate about Pokemon Go. There's players out there who have said that this game has changed their lives, but really, like, this game has changed all of our lives, which means a lot of us are going to be passionate towards this game in different ways. So for all of you who are defending Niantic, do try to understand why players are extremely frustrated with these changes. It's not necessarily because a lot of us feel entitled to getting these sort of mechanics, but it's because we enjoy the game. And there's certain ways that we enjoy it that's very inclusive and also a great way for people to play the game casually and hardcore. Like, even with remote raid passes, it didn't discourage me from going outside and playing the game like I normally did before. It just was another level of convenience that actually improved the experience of Pokemon Go. I don't think this is something that Niantic caught on to. But yeah, this is not just all the bad news that's currently related to Pokemon Go. We finally got the announcement for the Regidrago makeup event that Niantic was promising, and yeah, it is exactly what we expected. It's a makeup event. The one thing that I was surprised about is that Regidrago is going to be available to everyone. I really thought this makeup event would be specifically for the New Zealand and Australia regions, mainly because they were the ones most affected by all the bugs and glitches during this particular Elite Raid Day. And they're going to be giving out a free premium raid pass to all the players in New Zealand, so yeah, that's a nice little bonus for them. But to be honest with you, I still don't think it's sufficient to compensate for all of the troubles that New Zealand players had to face during that day. And I really think all it comes down to is that Niantic just needs to stop being incompetent when it comes to these events. Ultimately, they've been developing a really bad reputation for the past year, and Niantic has a lot of work to do if they want to be in the good graces of the Pokemon Go community. And that is extremely important because community is going to be the lifeblood of any live service game just like this one. Just ask any League of Legends or World of Warcraft diehard, it's really the community and content creators and influencers that keep those games going, even decades later. So Niantic needs to realize that the true form of longevity will come from investing in their community. I really hope they start making the right steps because yeah, it's been a very bad time for Pokemon Go players right now. But in any case, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. And of course, this is a hot topic of discussion that's been ongoing for the last 2 weeks, and it looks like it's going to be continuing on for a 3rd week. So I would love to know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. What are you thinking about how Niantic is treating Pokemon Go right now? Let me know those thoughts in the comments, and let's have a great discussion. And if you ended up enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support my channel in any way, big or small, then do consider checking out the links in the description below. And yeah, that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.